To that, we go straight into the interview. Word of warning though, I just leave all sounds to just go through at this point because I'm not particularly bothered in setting up my audio sources in a particular way. At least for a loading screen.
No problem.
Yeah, anything you say will go completely through.
Sounds good.
I've done this to a couple of other interviewees as well, just a case of, oh yeah, what have you got to say, candidly? But yeah.
Oh goodness, has anyone said anything embarrassing because they didn't realize they were live?
A few people here and there. Normally at that point
Nice.
I'm just like, hold up a second before you go any further. Yeah, it's...
I'm gonna make the Twitter post as well so I can
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
direct people that might want to watch over here.
Yeah, don't worry. This is, in comparison, a major improvement compared to radio, because on radio we had to take out interviews by phone, essentially. And what would happen is, every time a guest came in, we'd call them about 5 minutes before the interview and have them off air, and we'd be like, oh, yeah, we'll put you on in like 5 minutes, blah blah blah, here's the procedure. Then after that it's just like, oh, by the way, when the interview ends, we have to hang up. Sorry, we're not being rude, but we can't exactly give you an after talk, so...
Goodbye.
Yeah, so it's just like, slam, goodbye.
I'd be like, oh, well, okay, guess we're done then.
Yeah, the regular case is normally like pre-COVID, we'd drag the interview guest into the studio. That way, even after we finished up with the interview, we could just move on to like a music section and just talk to the guest afterwards. Just like, oh, how'd you find that? Was there anything you wanted us to edit out before we upload it? Blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because, yeah,
I did one thing on radio one time, and it was just voice acting stuff when I was younger.
Fancy stuff, fancy stuff.
Oh yeah, it was fun. Though I wish maybe one day I'll have more experience with it. I also love the sprites that you do. Do you just edit those every time you have a new guest, or?
Let's see. For those, it depends on if there is a guest which shares a similar kind of shape. If not, I have to draw it from scratch.
Oh, okay. I really
yeah.
like those. That's a cool touch.
Because yeah, with those, usually I'll have to redo the animation every time, because every guest has slightly different nuances when it comes to those. But for the overall art itself, 50-50 shot. In your one's case, I think I had to do most of it from scratch, because I looked through the design and I'm just like, Hen, what the hell did you do with this design? There's gradients everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. They did a great job.
Yeah, they really did. Like, when it comes to their character designing, it's just, yeah, it's amazing. And if you look at Hen's backlog of characters, you'll notice that they have a backlog of like 80-something characters just lying around. I'm just like, what the hell is this? That's a lot of original characters to draw.
I want to look at more of them, yeah. I have seen a lot because I've followed them for like probably a couple of years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, in my case, I only found out about them this year, and I was like, okay, this art style's perfect. Let's grab a design.
Yes, it's true. Yes. And they did really well with yours too.
Considering what I gave them to run off of, yeah, they went all out.
Did you only give them a little bit, or?
Let's see, the full email was pretty much just a couple of specific details, a couple of references, and general theme, pretty much. Past that, yeah. Wasn't all
Hell
too
yeah.
much, so it was roughly maybe 2 emails worth of correspondence, and then the monocle was at the very end.
I love the monocle.
Like, it was the most
So
last
cute.
minute thing, and I wasn't even sure if it was gonna go through at first.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just a random DM to like Hen towards the end of the design process. They were just like, oh yeah, if you want any other little changes, do let us know. I'm like, can I get a monocle?
Yes!
And there was
Such a good touch.
there was no extra correspondence after that. They didn't message back or anything. It wasn't even shown if they'd seen the message. I was like, well, we'll see how this comes
So you
out.
didn't know if they do it. Yeah.
And yeah, when the final was delivered with a monocle, I'm like, hell yeah, this is good. This is good.
Also, before we start, can I ask your pronouns?
Thing is, I'm just a guy who likes cute things, so I don't actually give too much of a damn about them. People go with whatever.
Nice one. Hell yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Alright then, let's see, we're about 5 minutes past, so why don't we get started proper then, shall we?
Sounds good.
Alright then, first one's an easy one. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Attera Nox, and I am a Fae Dragon VTuber. My egg as a little hatchling was yeeted into the fairy otherworld, and there I was raised by fairies, hence the Fae Dragon.
Okay.
And I also devour time, so just a little tidbit to throw in at the end there.
That's a very casual thing to say. Yeah, I devour time too. My god. Anyhow, most VTubers, when they come on, they normally give, half of a lore introduction and the other half about their streaming activities, I suppose. In your case,
okay.
in your case, it seems mostly lore heavy, but not bad, not bad. It's among the more moderate length introductions, because some of them I've received are, I think one of the last ones I received was like extremely long and winding, and like, wow, that's a very long introduction that you give. And then I think the most infamous one I've had was someone who just came on and said, oh, I'm a human being. I'm like, that's it? She was like, yeah, that's it. Like, that introduction took 2 seconds. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm definitely a variety streamer. I don't really have much to say in the way of things that I stream. As you've seen, I've been hyper focusing a bit on Hunt Showdown, but I actually first started as a huge MMO player and also played a lot of Overwatch. So, I've just been trying to figure out what kind of things that I would like to stream. So I just say variety.
Let's see, MMOs. My immediate guess would have been FF14, probably.
That's right. Yes.
Yep. I was stuck in the FF14 hole for a while as well.
Yeah, and I played World of Warcraft for like 8 years.
Oh wow, okay. Yep, that would definitely do it. Because yeah, in my case, I think I stuck with FF14 up until Shadowbringers, pretty much, and when I was going through Shadowbringers' story, I just couldn't stomach it very well, so I was like, nah, I'm out, pretty much.
Oh my goodness, Shadowbringers was the best one!
I know,
it made me super emotional, though. It's super intense emotion-wise, but they go really heavy into the story. I can't wait to see what Endwalker does.
Yeah, my main issue with it was probably, let's see, the class changes, because 2 of the classes I played got among the most changes done to them.
Which classes?
Let's see, I mained Dark Knight and Summoner, for the most part. And those 2 saw
yeah.
some of the biggest changes with the expansion.
Oh my god, wait till you see what they're doing to Summoner this in Endwalker.
Oh, I saw the job action trailer, I was like, what the hell?
Oh my god, they're like, here you go, we're gonna change your entire everything.
There is such a ridiculous amount there that I'm just like, oh damn. Anyway,
It'll be fun though.
Anyhow, let's shoot off to this next question, shall we? This one's a rather simple one as well. What inspired your design?
Well, dragons. And I actually gave them like my color palette and stuff too. Because pretty much in every game I've ever played, dragons were always the unplayable race. And I was always really offended by that because I'm like, but I want to be a dragon. Like, why can't I be a dragon? They're like, you have to kill dragons. I'm like, no, fuck that. I love dragons. I've always had an affinity for dragons, so I wanted to be one since now I can. So I was like, I emailed Khan and Hen about it, and they were like, yeah, we could do that, and it was great.
Fair enough. So what was the back and forth between you and those two like? In which case, because for my own, I remember it being like very scattered emails that come in like once every week maybe for a couple of weeks. And then eventually I wouldn't hear from them for maybe 2 months and suddenly they'd shoot me back the design. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was pretty like that too for me. I sent them like a rough sketch idea that I had. And it was sort of, the hair was a bit more like wild. But I had said like, I really like something on the face. So they put like jewelry on the face. And then I said I wanted like a headdress with like chains and stuff. And so they added that. I said 4 horns, and then I gave them a color palette. And I said I like tops that have a high neck, and then if they could incorporate scales and like braids in the hair. So pretty much I just gave them a generic thing that I like, or things rather. And I said maybe 2 different color dyes, since my OCs for forever have had 2 different color dyes. And I said maybe black sclera too. So I just threw a bunch of words at them, and they were like, okay. And then here I am.
Fair enough. I remember like the basic details I threw towards them were, let's see, hair color, hairstyle, heterochromia, so 2 different color dyes. I think the 2 earrings as well. Like there's one ear with just 2 piercings on it. And apart from that, flower designs and the general fashion is what I threw at them. Yeah.
Yeah. And she decided to add the flowers of her own volition. And I thought that they looked really good. It's hard to see, but actually behind the flowers, the braids roll up into like Leia buns, like Princess Leia braid buns.
Oh.
So those are actually behind the flowers. But they did really good with it. It was a lot more than I imagined it would be. Although they were like, we're going to make it pretty detailed if you're okay with that. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's just go with the detailed price. And then, wow, details. Like,
and yeah,
that's the first thing that people comment on. They're like, it's so detailed. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. Like when I commission art, I'm like, thank you for drawing my character. And also, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of details.
Yeah,
it took a while, but it's worth it.
Because yeah, there's one thing with live 2D, and it tends to be, if you make a symmetrical design, it's a lot easier to rig and a lot easier to get done in the end. When it comes to Can and Hen, sometimes they go pretty ham on the asymmetry. In my case, the moment I approached Cayman, he was like, oh yeah, if your design's asymmetrical, I'm going to have hell. I'm just like, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Sorry.
Because yeah, this design in full is just, oh god. What the
It looks so
heck?
good though.
When I was looking over your design just to do up the pixel art, I was like, oh my god, there's so many details. There's
Yes,
jewelry
it's insane.
everywhere, there's embroidery here and there, and then there's just like, there's colors that just fade into completely different gradients. I'm just like, the hair. Oh god, why?
They did so good, and I love especially the little blue points on the eyelashes. I thought that was a really cute touch that like matches with the sprigs of plants behind the flowers in the hair. I'm so happy with what they did, and they were like, sorry it took us so long. I'm like, nah bro, like you good. I'm doing PNG tubing while I wait for you, so don't worry about it, because I knew nothing about streaming beforehand. So
Oh, really? So you're quite new to this
yep,
then?
very, yeah.
In that case, I'll pop the question here instead. So, what exactly drew you to VTubing specifically, rather than any other kind of content creation, say regular cam streaming or just YouTube video creation?
So I've always been a really shy person and pretty socially awkward / anxious. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to do like cam tubing. But if I'm gonna be blatantly honest here, I like I said, I had followed Hen for a while. I actually saw her art first on a YouTube video. It was like an anime metal video, and the character was drawn by Hen, and I was just like, oh my god, this person's art is great. And I followed them, and I kept waiting for them to open commissions, and they finally did, and they're like, oh, I'm doing VTuber models. And I was like, well, I guess I'm a VTuber now. And so like I feel bad sometimes because people are like, they have this, they have such a passion and a drive for it because it's something that they watched hours of, whether it was Callie or Gura or something, like had someone they looked up to and they wanted to do the same thing. And I'm just like, impulse decision. I saw it and I went with it. I didn't really find my raison d'etre, whatever you want to call it, until later, until I actually started doing it and figuring out what it meant to be a VTuber and like to stream and stuff. So
Fair enough, because normally I hear the spiel of, oh, I watched Hololive, or oh, I watched Niji Sanji for a while and decided, oh, maybe I can do that. Or, oh, they'd heard about VTubers way back with, say, Kizuna Ai, for instance. And then, yeah, you hear all the stories of, yeah, eventually when it became more mainstream or widespread, they decided to hop onto the train. And, well, it seems in your case, yeah, Can and Hen really do go quite far, huh?
They really do. I was listening to metal music and I saw them. And I just, I saw clips here and there. Like I saw, I think Hana was one of them. And then I saw some clips of Korone and the infamous Pikami one where she's with the one with the fire hair. And they're talking and she's like, let's kill the hoe. And she's like, kill the hoe. That's like, that's the only VTuber clip I really saw or watched before I decided that I wanted to do it. So I don't know. It was really new, but it's been a fun experience so far.
Because, yeah, normally there's all this deep-seated culture when it comes to VTubing, some odd considerations people take here and there. because it does have quite a lot of parallels to, or at least on the Japanese side, has a lot of parallels to, say, idol culture, essentially. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
over here in the West, it feels a lot more like typical streamer culture, essentially. Not as much need to carry yourself with a certain standard, not as much need to be obliged to certain things, essentially. But hey, it's a good
Yeah, I
freedom to
could see
have.
that. Yes, I love it.
So yeah, following in that same vein then, so what does content creation mean to you?
Um, well, it's always been something on the side for me and something that I do for fun. As long as what I do can provide entertainment or like bring a smile to someone's face, I'm happy with it. So content creation for me is just like um, trying to improve on people's days or make them not really forget, but kind of like distract, even just for a little bit, from the things that might be going on in their life or lack thereof. You know what I mean? So it seems it's hard to explain. Um, I just really wanted something to sort of explore other aspects of my personality as well, that are hard to get across in person, and maybe along the way help other people to do that too.
Okay, that's fair enough, that's fair enough. In which case, yeah, not bad, not bad. I've had maybe one or two people come on here and say, oh, yeah, it's about the finances or just wanting to get attention or be popular or whatever, but yeah. Being able to put a smile on people's faces ain't a bad idea, so to speak. Or brighten up someone's day.
Yeah, a big motivating factor for me has actually just been the friends I've been able to meet while I've done this, because like I said, the socially awkwardness, I just never was very good at making friends on my own. So I felt like this type of path that I was going on allowed me to express myself more. And because of that, I think that the friends that I have made, or the people that like the content that I do, or like the show I put on and stuff like that, I feel like they actually like me for me being able to be who I am. And at the end of the day, that's a really good feeling, and that's what I like to be reflected in the content that I put out.
In that case, then yeah, freedom of expression, and that is something that is a lot easier to attain when VTubing, I suppose, in comparison to, say, camp streaming, but hey, not a bad look on things, not a bad look on things. I will have to ask at this point though,
Yeah.
specifically because it seems to come up quite often when it comes to you for some reason, like whether it just be yourself or your audience or just, I don't know, anytime I think Attera, for some reason I think heavy metal, so please explain that choice of music per se.
Yeah, you would be correct in that. Attera is actually from this black metal song called Attera Totus Sanctus, which means to destroy all holy men, or to destroy all that is holy, or wear down or weaken. Attera is a feminine form of the Latin attero, which is to wear down or weaken or destroy or wipe out.
Okay.
So yeah, you would be you would be very dead on with that. I am a metalhead. I love death metal. I love black metal. I love power metal. That's not everything I listen to, but it's a good bit. And it's very influential, I think, to not only my name, but my design. And it's also in my BGM. And, you know, we love an edgelord queen.
Jeez, wait, Attera being... Oh my, that is... Okay. Did not expect there to be a particularly, I don't know, feminine way of saying destruction, per se, in Latin.
Oh, yeah. Like
God,
femme
okay.
fatale.
Fair.
Femme fatale. Beautiful, but deadly.
Now that is
so
interesting.
That
logic.
sort of plays into the lore too, kind of, because, you know, Attera's nice and sweet, and she's never... That's why I decided to make her sort of like yandere, because, you know, she wants people to stay with her, because the time that they give her, she can use as currency to extend her existence in the mortal plane, right? So if minutes, you know, if what feels like minutes to her, or to you rather, is actually hours because of time manipulation and whatnot, then that works for her, right? So if she's slowly tearing and breaking you down, but you don't know it, that's kind of like her personality.
Oh my.
That I was going with.
Oh,
so whenever I say my welcome, like I say, "You're now one of my precious treasures. Welcome to my hoard."
Oh.
Because she hoards time, and essentially she hoards people.
Ah, I see. Oh. Surprisingly well integrated lore then, in which case, because most people just have it as very light theming and don't really consider tying it so much, so to speak, to, say, streaming activities. Like, some will just say...
Yeah!
Some will normally just say, oh, blah blah blah, I was this in a past life, now I'm stuck in the human world and got addicted to the games, now I'm streaming. That's normally the ending for most people's lore. In your case, you took that extra consideration, so that's quite nice then.
Thanks. I thought I was being kind of nerdy doing all that, but but it was just so fun.
Nah, it adds to the experience in a lot of cases when it comes to VTubers. Those that kind of just loosely put themselves on display instead, not quite as much theming, so to speak there. Kind of loses a bit of the flair that you could do specifically because you are a VTuber. But yeah, since you've taken that consideration, the flair is there, of course. So that works out quite well. But yeah, I don't know what it is with you, but yeah, you really do seem to attract the metal kind as well, because...
I love that. Good. Let's go.
I took one look through your introductions channel on Discord, I was like, there's a lot of metalheads here. Oh boy.
I love that for me.
Because give or take a couple of years ago, I probably would have considered myself a metalhead for a while as well, but I've been out of it for quite a while, so yeah, I have no idea what any of the newer stuff sounds like these days.
Oh, you don't want to tell me that. I'm gonna be linking you like Flesh God Apocalypse. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll say it's been a while since I've listened to metal, so yeah. Any kind would probably be a tad on the more nostalgic end of things if I do listen to it.
Yes, I love that.
Because yeah, back then it was mostly... I think I was mainly listening to more Australian bands. Because let's see, the two that I can remember off the top of my head were, what was it, Parkway Drive and then Killswitch Engage. Killswitch Engage not necessarily being Aussie, but yeah. Those were the two that stick in my head at least.
I was literally just singing that with a friend tonight, the end of Heartache or whatever.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I was just singing that with a friend earlier. I think the lead singer's in a new band now too.
Oh my.
I think like Light the Torch or Torchbearer or something. But he still has an amazing voice. I did listen to Parkway Drive a little bit too.
Because yeah, the main thing I liked about metal was just how well a lot of the bands did their guitar. for the most part. Because
Yes.
it's the guitar riffs. Guitar riffs are the main thing that I remember from metal music, at least. Because some
And I love
bands
singing too, so fun to sing with.
My voice is a bit too on the soft side to sing metal properly, so I normally skip on it. A couple of friends of mine do sing it full on, and I'm just like, damn.
Right? I wish I could do like the growling and screaming and stuff, but I just sing like the power metal, like Epica. Yeah, or like In This Moment. Any of the clean female vocals, like Nightwish. Have you heard of Nightwish?
Don't think I have, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, I'll have to show you Nightwish sometime. They're great. It's like metal, like riffs and stuff, but instead of the screaming, it's female vocals.
Oh, all right. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah,
sometime.
It's good stuff.
I'll say feel free to send me any kind of music. I do listen to functionally whatever the heck. I think the only thing that I am kind of partial to not listening to too often is probably rap music, but that's about it. Anything else on the table pretty much goes.
Same, me too. And country, or as I like to call it, farm emo.
Oh. Country I don't necessarily mind if it's got a certain vibe. If it's the more redneck country kind of stuff, I kind of just laugh at that instead. Just a case of, oh.
Yes!
Just a case of, oh god, okay. But no, regular country...
It's so ridiculous sometimes.
Regular country or the more popular country stuff, it's okay. It's okay. But...
I heard this one song on the radio earlier that was like, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. And I'm like, why? What's this song right now?
Yeah, the lyrics in country music are... they're a 50-50 shot for the most part. So sometimes you get good stuff, other times you get, oh, yes, drinking moonshine all day.
Dear Lord.
Alright then, let's shift on to this next question. So, you do mention that you're a variety streamer. What exactly is your preference in games, actually?
So I really like a lot of survival horror stuff. That's probably one of the reasons why I liked Hunt so much, is because it had that horror aspect. I like the turning the brain off and violence games. So like Left 4 Dead, fucking Vermintide, Back 4 Blood. I know that one's gonna come out soon. I played a bit of that when it was in beta. Yeah, and I like Medium, Visage, the Silent Hill games, the Resident Evil games. The only reason I haven't streamed them is because I'm so abysmal at them, and I don't. I'm like, I don't want to subject my viewers to that, you know. I mean, I guess like, if it's entertaining enough, it doesn't matter how bad I am. But also at the same time, like, I want people to see me like beat it too. You know what I mean?
I will say, yeah.
Yeah.
There's likely a certain appeal in seeing you go through those. Let's see, when it comes to horror stuff, do you find yourself screaming particularly often?
Sometimes, like Devour. Sometimes the jump scares in Devour particularly make me jump or scream, because it'll show like a close-up of the monster if they grab you, and sometimes they grab you from behind so you don't see them coming. So like jump scares will usually get me, but it's not very often that I scream. I'll jump and like panic silently, but I don't scream very often. I'm actually terrified of heights and stuff, so
Oh.
my adrenaline junkie stuff just comes from horror games. I love being scared.
Fair enough, fair enough. And in my case, I deal with most horror alright. Kinda. Questionably. It's just that the moment a spider is involved, I am screwed. Absolutely.
I saw that. I saw your clip of when you were fighting the spider in Hunt.
Yeah, how does one put it? I started Hunt, I was like, oh yeah, this is nice, this is nice. Why does this feel so much like a horror game?
Oh yeah, because it is.
Because yeah, the way the sound is mixed, it's just like, all the sounds are very loud. So the moment you hear anything happen, you kind of jump and freak out a bit. I'm just like, because during the training mission, I just remembered, like getting spooked a lot by random zombie noises from behind. I was just like, wait, what's going on? What's going on?
Oh yeah, it's very sound based. You want to hear anything that's going on, so you know if anyone's trying to creep up on you.
It was definitely one of those cases of when I played it, at first I was like, oh god, this is a horror game. Why? Then then the first few runs I did were solo runs, and that probably didn't help the impression very much.
Oh my goodness.
Because yes, everything was absolutely horrifying to deal with.
I'd honestly just love that game.
And I can see why, after the amount that I've played. I'm just like, yeah, this is an experience that I haven't gotten from any other Battle Royale, for the most part.
Yeah!
Because like,
that's what I like.
The closest I compare it to is probably PUBG, but you're more mortal than you are in PUBG, because PUBG you can get shields and whatever, and you can live through a couple of shots. Hunt, you take 2 bullets to the chest, you're down.
Yep. And if you take one from a certain kind of gun, you're also dead.
Ah, yes. Any kind of shotgun or the Nitro Express.
Yep, and if it has penetration, it can go through walls, through the floor. That was the craziest part to me when I started playing a lot of Hunt, was that people can kill you through walls and the floor. I was never, it's like, even though I was told that could happen, you're still almost never prepared for when it does happen. You're just like, where the fuck did that come from? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the thing with Hunt is a lot of the buildings have tiny little holes between each plank. And if you look very carefully, yes, you can see someone moving inside. So, some of the more crowning moments I've had were simply just, oh, the bounty is right next to this corner. Huh. Okay. I'll just sit here for a while. Okay. Oh, it finished vanishing. Okay. Moment it said such and such has picked up the bounty. Immediately shotgun the wall. Oh, I murdered someone. This is fine.
Fuck them.
Because it's just like, yeah, when it actually does get to the PvP aspect of things, it's, I don't know, it just seems either very tense or you just get domed in the head and it's over.
Oh yeah, yep. And that was a really cool thing too, that I like also, is that you can choose to be PvP or PvE. I mean, sometimes you can try and be as PvE as possible, and then someone will find you and fuck your day up anyway. But what's important is that you can try. Like, you have the option. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go in there and kill somebody if you don't want to. You can just play it super passive, or like fucking rat around and do like a clue run and then extract. You know what I mean? Like, you have the option of how you want to play the game. I know that when I play with Onikana or my friend Lychee, like, Lychee loves pressing W and fucking running into, as soon as he hears guns go off. He's like, oh, I heard shots fired in Southwest. Let's fucking go towards it. I'm like, all right, King, let's go. You know? So
Yeah.
I like that you can choose whether to fight monsters or fight people. And that's a pretty cool aspect of the game.
Because, yeah, for instance, whenever I watch Onikana, hers is just hyper-aggression for the most part.
Yes! I was like, Kana, teach me how to not panic. And she's actually really good at teaching.
Because, yeah,
she's like, it's okay, Attera, you got this. And she would guide me through. I'm like, listen, I need a Kana tutor in my life.
The sheer amount of patience that one shows sometimes is just like, oh yeah, oh damn. Because, yeah, half the moment she's going, or half a second ago, she's going like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that. And then the next she's like, okay, you got this. Slowly eases someone else into it. It's like, damn.
She's so awesome.
I don't know, it feels like that kind of sudden shift that you get with any really good teacher, where they look at one student, they're screaming their ass off, and then they look at the next student and it's like, it's fine. It's okay. Take it at your own pace. Turns back to the other guy, starts screaming off again. But hey, that's the kind of impression. You gotta be gentle
with this one.
I don't know, Hunt is definitely a game that I'd been watching for quite a while, just being like, oh, this sounds cool and all that, but I'm not sure if I'd actually pick it up. Then the thing that actually made me pick it up was, let's see, I saw you streaming it, and then I saw it on sale, and I was like, you know what? Why not? This is probably just the only push that I needed to actually pick this game up.
Like, fuck it, let's go. Was I playing with Persephone when you saw me play?
Yep.
Hell yeah. I got her addicted.
Oh my, yeah, I can see the addictive properties with it, because it's just like, yeah, it's that very big feeling of just one more.
Oh yeah.
And
like learning the maps and the positionals and stuff.
Yeah. Because the thing is, when you manage to shoot or gun one guy down there, it's like, oh damn, alright, sweet. When you get gunned down from the middle of nowhere, you're like, I could have got him.
Yeah, I could have got him, yes!
Unfortunately, I shoot like a potato, so my aim is pretty garbage outside of a certain select few games, so... yeah, when it comes to me against other players, if it's a front-on confrontation, it's a 50-50 shot. If
right?
If it is me getting the drop on someone, maybe a 75.
For me, it depends on if I panic and if I see them. So I noticed that. Sorry, my roommate's being loud.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I noticed that. So I play without my glasses because of my model. Because I noticed that my eyes go all wonky when I wear my glasses on my model, like my eye tracking.
I do roughly the same thing.
Catches the glare. Yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? No, I don't want my eyes to go all weird because, spending the money on the model and everything. And I'm like, no, I don't want, I don't want to be looking up at the ceiling when I'm not. So I take off my glasses. So, Percy or my housemate or whoever will be like, oh yeah, the enemy is right here. And I'm like squinting and I'm like, where? And they're like, right here on ping. I'm like, no, I still don't see it. But I've actually started learning to train my eyes without my glasses. So maybe I'll get some contacts.
Maybe. I was considering getting back on contacts after getting a model. But then at the same time, I was like, the kind of contacts that I used to use were the pricier overnight kind instead of the daily ones. So I'd be like, I'll stick with glasses for now. I don't have to go outside that often anyway. Not thanks to lockdown, anyway.
Yeah. That's crazy. Lockdown's been crazy.
There is a very simple trick though when it comes to glasses in VTube Studio or any kind of tracking.
Yeah?
So, alright, so do you wear headphones by any chance or do you wear earphones?
Headphones.
Okay, so one thing I noticed with headphones is if they completely cup over your ear, you can actually lean your glasses against the top of it and angle it downwards slightly. That way, it doesn't reflect your screen immediately. It reflects it downwards instead. That way, it should actually go through the tracking and work decently well. Because, yeah, I tried streaming without my glasses for a while. I realized I was blind as a bat, so I decided, nah, I'll find a way around this. So I looked through my webcam and I'm like, okay, so that's the problem. There's a straight reflection coming back off my glasses. Because there was a case of, oh, yeah, there's a reflective coating on these things. It's going to shoot back regardless of what I do. So I figure, what can I do then? What can I do? And the solution was just, oh, apply physics. Tilt the glasses. That way, when the screen reflects onto them, it reflects downwards instead of straight into your camera.
Oh my god. That's gigabrain. I gotta try that.
The solution works for most cases until you start looking upwards and your glasses realign with the screen, pretty much.
And then it's like, no!
Yep, so as long as you don't have to look upwards, and in most cases you should only really be looking forwards at your monitor, then yeah, normally it's actually pretty serviceable.
I love that. Thank you.
Give it a shot sometime, because yeah, in the case of me, it was like, oh, wait, this completely fixed almost everything.
That's great!
One other thing though is, if you do use glasses, there are a couple of parameters you probably should turn up a bit. Those being like, what is it? Blinking sensitivity, I think, and eye open sensitivity. Yep, just those two, and you should be able to get things decently well done. With glasses on even.
I have the eye sensitivity up pretty high in general too, because I have very small eyes, so it registers my eyes as closed when they're not a lot of the time. So, so I'm like, how do I fix that? It keeps showing my eyes as closed when they're not, so I had to adjust that quite a bit, but seems to be okay now. I'm definitely gonna try that though.
Yeah, when it came to eyes, yeah, I did have to do roughly the same adjustments kinda, but most of the time I end up with my eyes closed anyway, at least when I'm doing any talk show kind of content. Because yeah, not normally it's a case of, no one's really gonna give a damn on radio per se, if they see you with your eyes closed, because they're not gonna see you. It's all sound, you know?
Exactly.
Sure, sometimes the guests in front of me, when we were able to have guests, were just like, wait, are you actually closing your eyes? I'm like, yep. Don't mind it. This is fine. I can hear you better this way.
100%.
But yeah, on to the next question then, shall we? So this one's a pretty straightforward one. So what are your thoughts on the indie VTuber scene, after having poked around a bit?
You mean like on Twitch or on Twitter? Because those are probably two different answers. Because there's an indie VTuber scene on Twitter and then one on Twitch.
All right. Let's hear the Twitch one first then.
So, indie VTuber scene on Twitch. I think that there's a lot of passion going around with indie VTubers. Like I feel like they have a bit more oomph sometimes. Not everyone. There's always an exception. And I think part of that is the way that we perceive it too. I think sometimes people might think that corporate VTubers would be more manufactured and stuff like that, you know. But I think at the end of the day, we're all people trying to do things that we enjoy. And I think whether we make money from it or not doesn't really change the genuineness of our content, if that makes sense. In some aspects it does. Like, I was actually talking, it was to I think it was Seiko. I was talking to someone and they said there was a particular VTuber that couldn't play as much Hunt anymore, for an example, because their manager said that it was bad for growth. So that VTuber enjoyed Hunt so much that they put their foot down to their manager, and they were like, hey, I still really enjoy this game a lot and feel like I can be more of myself, which I think helps with growth and viewership, you know, because I'm actually enjoying myself. So I don't think it's fair to like equate you know, corporate VTubing with just doing it for the money, because I think that even though that can be an end goal, I think there are a lot that try to fight for beyond what they're contractually obligated to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. It's putting 110% in, pretty much.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool and really admirable. I think that one thing that the indie VTuber scene could work on is not paying attention so much to other people and what other VTubers are doing. Like, sure, it's good to get inspiration every which way and stuff like that, but like saying like, oh, the way this person does something is not favorable, or vice versa, just isn't the way to go about it, you know? Like, I think that it's good to kind of focus on what makes you comfortable. I think is pretty much my takeaway from it. I think as long as we focus on our channels and the content that we want to put out, I think that'll do good things for us.
That's a fairly optimistic view then, I'd say, in which case.
Yeah, it's like Fire has just said, when streamers enjoy their content, their viewers do too. People are very aware of what each other are feeling, even on a superficial level, and especially with VTubing, you focus a lot more on voice since you can't see expression as well. And I think that there's a lot of emotion in our voices and stuff. So if we're not vibing with something, then we're not going to be as entertaining about it. You know what I mean? Because if we're not having fun, then our viewers are going to pick up on it and start asking us what's wrong, and you know, and stuff like that, because they'll notice that we're not ourselves. So I think it's really important to try and find that perfect little niche balance between what you find fun and what your viewers like to watch.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Alright then, let's hear the Twitter side of things then, I suppose.
So Twitter side of things is pretty much kind of same thing. Like, you know, you wanna mind your business, stay in your lane, post memes, post funny shit, say when you're live, and then that's it. Like sometimes I'll post like little tidbits of advice, life advice, you know, like just as you don't want to waste your emotions on certain things, you also don't want to waste your time on some certain things, don't want to waste your energy on certain things.
Yep.
Focus on the things you can control instead of what you can't. Just little generic stuff like that, not even to do with any goings on. Twitter following and stuff like that does not equal Twitch following. But it does help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, even from, where I am with my viewers right now, I wouldn't have gotten where I am without having Twitter too. And I have people that are like, you should make a TikTok, then you can grow your account more. And I'm like, man, I'm too boomer to have a TikTok. Like I I would be able to figure that shit out. Like I don't even have that for fun, let alone, and people are like, oh, you could grow your viewer account and get more money and blah blah blah. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Like if people like my stuff, they'll come by. And I think what makes it different for me is that I'm not trying to build a career or be a full-time streamer or make it kind of like my lifeblood thing. This is honestly just for fun for me, and for meeting people and figuring out how to be more social and stuff like that. So just the financial bit of it is just not a driving factor for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I sort of have a little bit of a different standpoint, but I think as long as we focus on ourselves and how we come off to our viewers, and that's good, whether you're corporate or indie.
Let's see. I think in terms of, say, finances, anything that I earn normally goes to a bottle of, I don't know, bottle of spirits usually.
Yes, which one?
Let's see. The last one that I've picked up is one called Writer's Tears, essentially. It's a Irish whiskey, but hey, it'll do. And the name is just there for the irony, because as a writer, as my day job, it's just like, yeah, I get this drink. God, why?
I did some of the Jameson before the interview. I was feeling nervous, so I'm like, let's just drink a little sippy sip. I like Suntory Toki though too.
Oh,
Suntory
wow.
Toki is a very good whiskey.
Yeah, normally I would drink alongside whoever I'm interviewing, but normally depends on the time of day. Unfortunately, in this case, it's like still the morning, so yeah.
Still morning, yes.
Because, land down under, unfortunately. There are a couple of things we have, that being terrible internet and a whack as hell time zone. However, this time zone is surprisingly good for streaming, actually, because you manage to catch every single other time zone within it in some way or another.
It's true, and then you got all the night owls.
Pretty much, yeah. One of the odder Aussie streamers that I've run into, for whatever reason, starts their stream at about 4 AM local time. I'm just like, how? Why?
No, I can't imagine.
Like, my end streams, normally if I'm picking the time, I normally go for about 9 PM start, give or take. So normally that would be... Yeah, normally that would be in about 9 hours from now, actually.
Oh my goodness.
It's just that if I do any interviews with anyone from EST or PST time zone, I need to get up early in the morning.
Oh yeah.
EST especially. But yeah. PST I can normally wait till the afternoon. EST though, yeah. Gotta do it in the morning.
We're like 12 hours, right? Is it 10?
It's just midday now, so it's
Okay,
just 12.
so it's 12 there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because, man.
Good to know, good to know.
Because, yeah, in terms of time zones, it's going to be nice, kinda, until daylight savings. When daylight savings hits, then, yeah, the amount of time that it gets split apart is unfortunate, to say the least.
It is. It will be, yes.
Because Australian daylight savings is... why does it exist sometimes? It gets bad enough to the point where you still see the sun at like 9 p.m. sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
It's like...
What the fuck?
It's like, yes, Australian summer. Yes, this is all pain.
Oh my god. It is all pain. Summer in general is just all pain.
Wait till you see 40-degree summers, oh god. Why?
Oh, I lived in Southern California, so we got up to, let's see, what is it? I'm looking up conversion right now.
From Fahrenheit?
Yeah, I was 48. Yeah.
Oh god.
It wasn't with any humidity, but it was still 48. Like, we had to evacuate our workspace because all the machines were getting too hot.
Ouch. Yikes,
I'm like,
man.
yes, let's go home and melt, please.
For myself, I don't have air conditioning in this bloody room, so yeah. When
no, I hate that for you.
When things heat up, yeah, it's kind of miserable. And just the extra fact that, yeah, no air conditioning and this room is exposed on like 4 or 5 walls. So it's like...
Oh no.
So it's like,
you get all of it.
All of it at once, yeah. It's the worst insulated
I'm
room
sorry.
in the entire place. So it's like, I guess this is my lot.
The universe is like, fuck you in particular.
Yeah, because air conditioning works in every other room in this house. It's just this very specific room where it just does
I'm so
not.
sorry. That sounds miserable. That's
fine.
what swamp coolers are for, yeah?
Swamp coolers.
Swamp coolers, fans.
Man, if only.
All that good stuff.
At most, I just have like a fan/humidifier unit, and that's the most I can work off of, really.
Oh my goodness.
Could be worse, could be worse. Could be up on the mountainside. Mountainside is a very different affair. How does one say? You look away for a moment, the entire mountainside is covered in a cloud, all of a sudden.
Oh no. I get that though. My mountainside was always on fire when I lived in Cali, so I get that. It was a different kind of cloud.
Always on fire. Oh my god.
Exactly.
Oh, that's Australian summer as well. Yeah, we're on fire most of the time. One thunderstorm passes
Called
through.
It California incineration.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thunderstorm passes through, we're all on fire, pretty much.
Oh no.
But yeah, going back to that Twitter to Twitch sort of affair, yeah. I've interviewed quite a few people that have not necessarily had that much success on Twitter, but have had a very large amount of success over on Twitch instead. Which is a rather interesting dynamic to see, mainly because the VTuber scene more or less lives and dies on Twitter at times. But
yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's definitely better if you have most of the following on Twitch, since that's your streaming platform. There's a lot of people that get so invested in posting on Twitter that they don't stream. And then they wonder, why they're not getting any Twitch follows, but they have so many on Twitter. And it's like, well, you gotta choose where you funnel your time into. So instead of posting memes and pictures of your ass or whatever, like you should go on Twitch and stream instead, because I sort of was like that too. I was like, I have, It was when I had like 2K on Twitter, and then I had barely 1K on Twitch, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, no one wants to watch my shit? Like, what's going on? And then I streamed, and I was playing with Persephone, and I was playing with Lychee, and I was playing with, whoever, doing like my collabs and stuff that I like to do. And my views have started going up. I was pretty much like half and half before. Now I'm almost 2K on Twitch and almost 3K on Twitter. So I'm slowly closing the gap to where I feel like better. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know, since Twitch is a streaming platform, it always feels a bit better that people are following you for, your content rather than your 3 a.m. shit posting. Although that can feel nice too.
God, yeah, if you looked over on my Twitter, most of it is hangover posting. Like, 90% of the posts are just, oh, yes, to the eco of the future, please remember to do this next time you drink. Or please remember to do this or that. Yes. A lot of it is usually drink water. Some of it is just be careful around certain kinds of drinks. And I think some of them are just be cautious about this and that while drunk. Because, let's see, what was the one that I posted out last night? Okay. Let's see, to the eco of the future, be careful when drinking a suffering bastard. They go down way too smoothly and you don't realize how drunk you are until it's too late.
What are suffering bastards?
Okay, a suffering bastard is it's a bit more complex on the side of cocktails, I suppose, because it does have a fair few ingredients. It is, let's see, ounce of London dry gin, an ounce of bourbon, ounce of lime juice, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, shake that up, double strain that out into a glass, and then top with ginger ale. So to put it simply, it is a slightly sour, slightly spicy kind of drink, pretty much.
Wow.
However, with enough sweetness, it goes down quite smoothly instead.
Oh, I bet.
It is usually my go-to drink if I have the ingredients, simply because it's a case of, yeah, I'll drink this. Why not?
Why the hell not?
And last night was a case of, alright, my MMR on Hunt is down because I've had a shit ton of deaths recently. Like, normally I would sit comfortably in 3-star. I dropped down to 2 and I'm like, wow, I'm actually performing this shit. Alright, what's the worst that could happen from here?
Exactly.
And it became, okay, anytime something bad happens in Hunt, just take a sip.
Just take it.
And the stream title, I believe, was, let's see, Drinking a Suffering Bastard because I am being a dying bastard. Something along those lines, anyway.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
Yeah, Dying Bastard is actually a variation on the drink as well, where you actually add an additional shot of scotch.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it is a very high-proof drink, but it tastes very smooth, so you don't realize just how... You don't realize just quite how drunk you are after you finish the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
Because, yeah, it goes down very smoothly, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, no, that's destroying you from the inside. I downed about 2 of them. I downed about 2 of them last night, and I was out like a light by the end of the stream, basically. Because normally,
Damn, I would be too.
Normally my tolerance is decent. Normally. Not in the case when binge drinking, though. Or in the case of binge drinking and not quite being prepared for what was coming, because I was like, this is fine. It's not like I just downed that and, I downed the entire lot in like 5 minutes. Oh no. Oh, I see.
See, I would die. Like, I'm a very, very, very small girl in real life with a small alcohol tolerance.
Yes, close enough.
So I'll take like 2 shots and I'm just like wasted for like 3 hours.
Oh my. Because, yeah, last night I remember crawling into bed, then waking up at like 3 a.m., dead hungover. I was like, oh, I have an interview in like, what is it? Counts the hours. I have an interview to do in 8 hours. I need to get back to sleep. Stays up for another 2 hours,
God, yeah.
then it's like, oh.
No.
It's like, oh, finally, the hangover's over. Okay, let's get back to sleep. Tries to sleep next hour. Why can't I sleep? Please.
Exactly.
But nah, I got enough sleep to the point where I actually managed to grab some breakfast before this interview, so it's fine, it's fine.
I'm glad you had some breakfast. It's good.
It was just some, what was it? It was just some instant noodles, or, yeah, cup instant noodles. Not too bad.
I would actually commit crimes for an instant ramen right now. Drop like an egg in it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
While it's boiling.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, let's shift on to one of these other questions then, shall we? So, do you have any particular goals for the future when it comes to streaming?
I don't really have many goals. I mean, I wanna do more cover songs. I've actually been practicing a lot of my singing during my VTuber stuff. And I did my first ever rap for the VTubing stuff too. So I thought that was really cool and fun. So yeah, I don't really have any goals. Like, I don't know. I'm so laid back about this stuff. I'm just like, I just want to do it for fun until it's not fun anymore, and or you know, until people stop wanting to watch, or until you know, if VTubing's not popular anymore, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
I don't really have any goals besides I want to have fun. I want to meet new friends. And that's pretty much it. That's what I set out to do. So that's my goal. And I've been reaching my goal so far. So let's go.
Yeah, that one's pretty straightforward, because normally this question actually boils down to 3 answers for most interviewees. They normally choose one of the following. It's either, first one's like, oh, they want to reach partner. Second one is usually they want a redesign or a 2.0. And the last one is usually they want to do ASMR content at some point.
Oh wow. Yeah, I see ASMR growing a lot.
But I mean, VTubers are basically, yes, anime boy or anime girl talks to you in whatever voice. That is pretty much what VTubing is most of the time.
Yes. Yeah, I can't say that I mean, being partner would be nice, like financially wise, but like again, it's just it's hard to like really want that, because I don't know, I never really saw like viewers and financials to be part of it. I don't know. I think that would be a good milestone to hit, but that's not like a driving force for me.
Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, as for 2.0, with the designers that we've had, maybe not so much, is what I'd say. Because most people, I don't know. There's a lot of VTubers.
Oh my god, could you imagine our 2.0s?
2.0s would be, if we were to get them from Town and Hen, then yeah. Oh god.
Would be literally insanity.
Yeah. Be like, oh, can you do this? But even better than what you've already done. That's just like, oh god. That is.
Yeah, no,
Nah.
if I ever do like a redesign or an evolved design or 2.0 or stuff like that, it'll only be as like pipe dream commissions. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Like I have a male Attera commission that I got done.
Oh boy.
I have a secret commission going on right now for something else, form of Attera going on. So I think I'll live out those ideas in commissions rather than in the model, because I am just so happy with the way I am how I am. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I'm happy with what I have now, so I don't feel the need to do like a 2.0 or anything.
And what you've got is exceptional, of course, because let's see, I think there may have been two or three design siblings which actually went with Can and Hen in the end. I think that's you, Ace, and what's it called? Recent one,
Camille.
Camille. Yes.
I love Camille. She's so sweet.
Yeah, Camille is very sweet, actually. Like, the first time I ran into Camille, I was just doing a random karaoke stream, and there was just Camille there, like, cheering me on. I'm like, huh, who is this person, and why are they cheering me on so much? Eventually, eventually I looked on Twitter, I was like, wait, oh, I see.
VTuber sibling.
It was like, hello, oh god. Because yeah, slowly as time goes along, there's more and more of more and more of us being made in terms of design, and it's just like each one is cracked or insane, essentially.
Yeah, they did an amazing job on our designs, that's for sure. That was the first thing I did when I joined the VTuber community, was seek out all my siblings that I saw that they were working on.
Because yeah, I will ask, do you think there is any kind of sibling obligation of any kind when it comes to VTubing? Like, oh, you see someone with the same designer, same model, or same rigger, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff? Because some people do like having that kind of camaraderie, others kind of shy away from it a fair bit.
I always try to reach out. I don't have any siblings of my own, so I thought it was kind of cool to have people that have the same art parents as me. So I still wanted to follow everyone and kind of interact with everyone, but I never like hold it against anyone if they don't want anything to do with me or whatever. Like I don't feel like people should be obligated to camaraderie or anything because of that. I just think that it's a good common ground to start on, just in case you do decide to be friends. So besides Camille, you're pretty much the only sibling that I've gotten to interact with.
Oh, wow.
I did get to interact with Nimu a little bit. Nimu.
Yeah.
But she changed her design parents, so she's no longer technically a sibling, but she still comes by to my streams sometimes. And I'm just as happy to be her friend as I was, when she was a sibling. You know what I mean? I just think that's a bonus, like, cool thing, not like a, you're obligated to do something with me. But me and Camille are actually working on something together, so which I was very much looking forward to, because the flowers in Attera's hair, or my hair, are called camellia flowers, and she's Captain Camille. So I thought that was really cool, and the fact that we have a collab is just like brings me so much excitement.
Because I think the interesting thing I find is just the various locations that we're stuck in, because Camille, from what I recall, was in British time, I think. Something like that, yeah. So one in British, one in Aussie, and one in US time, so it's just like, oh man, scattered to hell, but at the same time. you can eventually find common ground. Like, for instance, if I do get up in the morning like this, I suppose.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you liked metal music, so that's another thing we had in common.
But yeah, in terms of, say, design siblings and whatnot, the two that I think I've interacted most with were Aiko and Aina, actually. So, two others from a while ago. Yeah. Because Aiko's
Did
just
Aiko
someone...
change too?
Let's see. Original design, no. Model and rigging, yes.
Okay.
Because, yeah, when it comes to Aiko, that one's very outspoken about a lot of stuff, so it's fun to bounce a lot of ideas off of them, pretty much. Like,
oh yeah.
If there's one person which is in the loop with any kind of drama in the community, it's Aiko, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, just anytime something pops up, whether it was, let's say, whether it was that whole small tuber fiasco, whether it was the hate raids recently, all that kind of stuff, ask Aiko.
Oh yeah.
Probably has a good rundown of everything.
It's true. Yeah. I think one that I've always wanted to get to know more was Ace.
Yeah, Ace is over on YouTube instead, so don't actually catch her all too often. I think I catch her more on Twitter than I do on YouTube, actually.
Yeah, same here. I didn't even realize she was more of a YouTube streamer. I'll have to see.
Let's see. I think, yeah, when it comes to siblings as well, I think Aina is probably one of the more impressive ones as well, because they do art, motion graphics, and rap, essentially. So
hell yeah!
So they do a lot of their own original raps, if not like rap covers of certain songs, and they produce.
I actually went
the
to
videos
them
too.
for that. Yeah, I went to them for advice on my rap actually, and they helped a little bit.
Because yeah, the way I put Aina's cool, pretty much.
I agree. I like Aina.
They're another one of those fun fellas to hang around with, anyhow. But yeah, when it comes to that lot, yeah, we're just seeing more people slowly come around. Because I do wonder who the heck is next up, come to think of it.
Me too.
Because yeah, there's a lot of people that would line up just to get Kan and Hen's art. But yeah, it is curious who the hell else actually went for it.
I can't wait to find out. I'm gonna bug all of them.
Because if I recall, they actually do have a Trello lying around somewhere. And on that Trello is just a whole bunch of...
posted.
Yeah. On that Trello is just a whole bunch of people which are potentially up there. It's like, huh. You just very quietly just go, hello. Yes. I will observe until you actually come around.
Exactly.
Oh well, holy hell, my stream is chugging really hard right now for some reason.
I saw that.
I suppose that's Australian net for you. Alright, let's see, there is...
Gotta love it.
Seems there's about 4 or 5 other people currently waiting. Yeah. Yeah, about 5 people currently waiting on their reference to get through.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Some people I think have been on this for a decent while. But yeah, some of them are nearly completed as well.
I think I put in an application in February and then I got my model at the end of April. Maybe the beginning of May. I can't remember. But
sounds about right.
it was a little while, but honestly, I think it's worth the wait with how intricate everything is, and I think they both did an amazing job. I know Khan was a little bit hesitant about it because it was their first
their
first rigging.
rig, yeah.
But I think they did really good. The only thing I asked differently was if I could get more physics.
More physics, huh?
I was like, can I have booba bounce? I didn't know how to ask, and because like the chest area was just very stiff, and I was like, what if I had jiggle? And I asked Khan, and I was like, Khan, can I have booba physics? And they were like, yeah, of course. And they were like, you wanna set it on like 40 or it'll do some wonky things. And I was like, all right, bet. And I changed it to 100 and did my little like laugh animation, and it looked like my chest was trying to fly off my torso. It was amazing.
You know, we do have the model up on screen, so
you want me to show you?
Let's see.
All right, hold on.
How jank can it possibly look?
Oh, let me show you. Let me show you. Let's see. How do I forget how to do this. Oh, here we go. Physics. Okay.
Oh,
see
God.
how like wonky my hair goes?
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
I did my laugh animation.
wait. That is really cursed.
It's so good.
Oh, Christ. Yep, that's physics for you. Oh,
so I
man.
was like, I did that on my debut because I'm like, how can I not show that to everybody?
Because let's see, if I recall, I don't deal with too many. Well, I don't have too much in the way of physics going, because I specifically requested, nah, don't worry about chest physics. There isn't anything there to begin with anyway. So let's see. If I push this up to maximum, what do we get? Let's see, I don't think we get too much in the way of change when it's pushed to maximum. Yeah, apart from just the hair moving a fair bit more and visible movement on chains or ribbon, then yeah, not too much else from going all in on the physics.
Oh my god, it was insane.
But yeah, in your case,
it made me laugh so hard.
In your case, jeez, those are flying.
I am only a half body model though, so I have void legs. I was thinking of actually putting a nebula like under my lower half, so I could literally call them my void legs.
Kind of like, you know, sticking out of the void, I suppose.
Exactly. I come from the void.
Yes, you invade this plane of existence. Steal people's time.
Exactly.
In my case, when I went to Cayman, he was like, yeah, sure, I'll give you a full body. I'm like, buddy. Really, dude? Buddy. Come on. And yeah,
Let's go!
He went all out on it. And there are certain details of which are practically never seen, pretty much. And yeah, he went all out on those. I was like, buddy, I didn't need you to put in like this hip sway, but this hip sway looks great.
Let's go! I love that!
And yeah, there are certain other little details here and there that, yeah, I don't know. Specifically when he was drawing up this model, he was like, hey, Ika, look at this. He shows the thigh squish, essentially. I'm like, yes.
We love the thigh squish.
He then shows the slight arm squish as well. I'm like, alright, you got this.
Gimme.
And both of those are just like, yep, good work, Kaiman. Good work.
Excellent work.
Because I would have originally went with Kan and Hen at first, but then I was like, I've got a friend out here that I've known for years, thanks to university, and I know this guy's rigs are bloody good, so I may as well.
There you go.
So yeah.
It does look great. Yeah.
He offered both the art and the rigging, and I was like, yeah, you made me an offer I can't refuse, buddy, so I'm taking it.
Golden, let's fucking go.
So how it ended up was quite nicely, and I was like, oh, yeah. Well, lots of nice little extra details he's thrown in here and there. I'm just like, damn, man. You didn't have to do some of this stuff, but yeah. Because for instance, yeah, this chain moving around, it was like, when he was drawing it, he was like, these chains are painful. I'm like, I know. Sorry.
I know, yeah.
And because of the guy's tendencies, partway through, he was just like, he did the front hair, or he finished up the front hair and just sent it over to me on the model, and he was like, this is a power move. This is short hair. This is a power move. I'm like, please keep this in.
Yes.
So yeah, now I have the ability to go between short hair and long hair, which is quite nice actually. Even just on...
Yeah, that's awesome.
Even just on and Khan's originals design even, if you actually cut off the hair a bit, you actually notice that, yeah, it actually looks pretty nice with just short hair.
I agree.
Because yeah, when I went to them for the design, I also specifically said, oh, just draw them androgynous, why not? Because that way I can make fun of people if they decide on one or the other. And yeah, 90% of artists...
The short hair is so good.
90% of artists and friends I've gone to is like, that's a chick, isn't it? I'm like, I don't know, buddy. What do you think? What do you think?
Who knows?
And yeah.
Very cultured, that's right.
There was one friend which immediately pointed out, no, that's a dude. I'm like, up to you, buddy. Up to you.
That's right.
But nah, I deliberately got it drawn very androgynous so that it would be left to whatever artist's interpretation, because, I don't know, found it more fun that way. Just a case of...
It is!
It was a case of, oh, you want to draw it as a chick or you want to draw it as a guy? Or what do you see me as? I'll leave it up to you.
You choose to perceive. Excellent.
I don't know, I just really do find it more fun that way, because, like, in this kind of community, why not?
Yeah, why the fuck not? Exactly.
Anyhow, let's see. I think I had... Was there 2 more questions here, or was there just the summing up question at this point? One sec. Alright, let's see. Oh, right. I skipped over this question entirely, somehow. So, in terms of audience appeal, what kind of audience do you think you attract?
Oh, that's a really good question. I might have to think about that for a second.
If any particular members of your audience are here, then yes, by all means, you may answer this question as well.
I know I've had a lot of people learning VTubing come by because kind of like for like an inspiration type thing. Or like advice and stuff like that. And I'm like, bruh, just so you know, I'm here and I'm vibing and playing games and being super scuffed while I'm at it. Other than that, I mean, just I think that I've been attracting a lot of people that, of course, that share the same interests. There's a lot of really kind people.
I think your mic might be cutting off at times, just a little bit.
How's this?
Seems fine as far as I'm concerned right now. But yeah, for a bit it was just you mouthing off for a bit.
Oh. Uh-oh. Where'd I cut off?
Not necessarily knowing what kind of audience you've got, but thinking that it's a fair bit of, let's say, people that share interests, and so from there.
Yeah, just people that share interests, and I've met a lot of people that are just very kind. That have been really supportive. I think the most people that I've attracted so far is while I'm playing Hunt. I think that there's a lot of people that enjoy that game, so that's another reason why I've started to play a lot, besides finding my favorite people to play with, like Persephone and Ramp. I think people do pick up on when someone is really having a good time. And I've met a lot of really cool people streaming that game that also enjoy that game. So I would say that I've met a lot of really supportive people, and I hope that that continues. I have people that sometimes get like poking fun at you or like bullying or like things like that, but I've never had a problem with any type of like harassment or people making me feel bad on stream or anything like that. So I feel really lucky to have found a group of individuals that like to follow and interact with me.
Fair enough, fair enough. Because I was going to ask the follow-up to this question, which was usually, what was the strangest or weirdest audience interaction you've had?
Huh. There was this one copy. I thought it was a copy paste up because someone just said a paragraph of something that was so off the wall that, like, oh, I wish I could find it. One of my guilds actually had it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. No, I can't find that in particular, but they said something in such a weird sentence structure. I think they might have been drinking a lot. And I was like, yo, dude, you okay? Like, you had some drugs tonight? If so, why aren't you sharing? Like, I just sort of like, responded to it like that. But it's been pretty good. Like, I'd say the funniest part was that I've discovered that I could do a Kermit voice.
Oh no.
One night. Yeah, so now one of my chat redeems is a Kermit Ara.
Oh god. Okay, I'm just gonna say, please demonstrate.
Oh my god. So I found out I could be like Kermit the Frog here.
Oh no. Why? Why? Very cursed.
I'm like, it's so cursed.
That is needlessly cursed. My god. Okay.
So every day I keep hoping that someone finds something more cursed that I can put on my redeems, because I love doing that shit.
Christ, more cursed than a Kermit Ara. Christ.
I don't know, dude. My friend Siren did wait. I don't know if I can say that on stream. Did CBT Yoda?
Oh, yeah, bet.
Exactly, yeah, bet.
See.
So that was a little more cursed than what I could do, but yeah, CBT. You don't want to know what that is.
Ice, you're too young. Ice, you're too young.
Can I do Donald Duck or Ara? I'll work on it just for you, Ice.
Oh god, Donald Duck. Christ. Man, I just remember some really cursed stuff when it comes to Donald Duck. In particular,
no.
Right, it was like the Kingdom Hearts opening, but done by Donald Duck. That was pretty horrifying.
Oh my god, I need to see that.
I'll send that over sometime, because, yeah, the video is literally just a sock puppet or sock puppet of Donald Duck whilst Hikari is being sung, or Simple and Clean is being sung, and then Hikari is sung at the end. It's just like, oh god, why?
Oh, I need to hear that now.
It is some extremely cursed stuff, yes.
I'm like singing it along with Ice right now. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel.
Oh, Christ. Anyhow, I suppose we'll move on to like the more sum up questions, the kind of wrap up questions at this point then, in which case. These two are very simple and usually work in conjunction with each other. And it's simply, first one is recommend a drink, any drink at all.
Oh, you said, okay, so like,
It doesn't necessarily have to be alcoholic, just something you like drinking.
I love drinking black espresso.
Black espresso?
Like just like give me 3 shots of espresso straight up.
3 shots of espresso, oh my.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, straight into my veins. I love that shit.
Just straight shots of espresso, my lord.
But I also really love like, I freaking love Thai tea, or like just I like chrysanthemum tea as well.
Oh, chrysanthemum. Been a while
Tired
since...
bitch juice, that's right.
It's been a while since I've had chrysanthemum tea. Quite a while, actually.
It's so good. I love it.
I think the last time might have been with my best friend, if not... trying to think of the other occasion, but might have been just with my best friend, yeah. And that would have been... really long time ago at this point, thanks to lockdown. God, why?
I know! Lockdown is so crazy. But, as far as alcohol drinks goes, I really like the mules.
Oh.
So like the Moscow mules, the stuff with like ginger beer and lime and if I'm not doing straight spirit shots, I'll do like Midori sours or like whiskey and Jameson. Or I mean Jameson and ginger ale. There we go.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Because, yeah, Moscow Mule was probably the drink that turned around my opinion on ginger ale, pretty much. Because before...
I love ginger ale.
Because, yeah, before that, I could not do ginger ale very well at all. I was like, not a very big fan of, like, spicier drinks, I guess. Because, yeah, ginger ale is one of the key ingredients in getting off that more spicy taste, essentially. Because it's...
Oh, so no Bloody Marys for you, then?
Bloody Marys... Let's see, Bloody Marys actually put more so in the saltier category than in the spicy category of drinks. Because normally when you teach someone about drinking for the first time or take someone to a cocktail bar for the first time, you start them off with something sweet, you then give them something sour, and then from there you can try venturing first into bitter, or you can go into spicy or salty drinks. But yeah, The spicy and salty drinks are the particularly strange ones, I'll say. Because
Yes, especially with Bloody Marys, where they put peppered bacon in it. Have you ever had that?
Wait, peppered bacon. Hold on.
Yeah, they put a slice of peppered bacon in it and hot sauce.
Okay, the hot sauce is standard, because yeah, you are meant to use Tabasco in a Bloody Mary, but bacon?
Yeah. I had one at an airport once, and I was like, wow, this really accelerates my acid reflux, but it's delicious. It's like you're drinking soup.
Oh, yeah, there's a particular cocktail out there which is actually just vodka but a soup, pretty much.
Gimme.
How does one put it? Let's see, the drink itself is called a bullshot, and you take one beef stock cube, you heat it up and spike it with vodka, pretty much.
What the fuck? I want to try that.
That's just a bullshot. Some people...
That sounds amazing.
Some people chill it afterwards. Others just leave it and just drink it as a deeper, more alcoholic soup. Normally, if you're in a colder climate, say Russia or whatnot, then yeah, bullshot is one of the ways to go for vodka.
I love that. I gotta try that now.
It's a key example of a salty drink, essentially.
Oh yeah, with
yeah,
the beef stock.
Yeah, there are a couple out there which are more so like soups or just like different varieties of soups with alcohol. And that's probably one of the easier ones to make out there. You make it over a stove, actually. So if you ever order it at a bar, the bartender is going to look at you funny for a moment, then realize, oh, we do have a kitchen. Hold up a second.
I love that.
Like, yeah, it's some strange stuff, but it works out pretty well. Because, yeah. Normally, though, when I think of vodka, yeah, it is just straight to a Moscow Mule these days. Just one of the easier things to make, and...
Oh, yeah.
Roughly as smooth, kind of, as a suffering bastard, to an extent. It depends on whether you actually do decide to add extra ingredients to it or not. Because the way my best friend turned me around on the damn thing was she added some extra simple syrup to it, and that just rounded out the flavor a lot nicer. Because it was just that tiny bit sweeter, I guess. So rather than being full-on bitter and spicy, it did have that bit of sweetness to it as well.
Ooh. I want to try that now.
Yeah,
well, maybe not now, but you know.
The one thing I do find about a Moscow Mule, though, is you very specifically do have to drink it in a copper mug or some kind of metal vessel, or else it just doesn't quite feel the same. Because, yeah, the specifics on the Moscow Mule, serve it in a copper mug, chilled with ice. If not, you can use a metal straw instead.
Oh, okay.
Because there are, for a lot of cocktails, it's the very subtle little touches, of which change the flavor a crazy amount, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where you see people say, maybe burn an orange peel over the top of a martini, or squeeze some extra lemon zest or whatever. If not, just rim a glass with some salt, for instance. That kind of stuff really does make a difference in the flavor. Garnish really does go a long way. For instance, both the Moscow Mule and the Suffering Bastard, you actually garnish with a sprig of mint. And for that, you just grab the mint, you clap the mint, and then you just place it in.
Do you clap it because it's like a highly, it's one of those agitated spices, like cinnamon? The more you agitate it, the more flavor comes out of it.
Kinda. It's partly muddling the garnish, essentially. It's releasing some of the aroma to begin with.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because, yeah, mint specifically, you slap it once or twice, and then you just throw it into the drink. And it's like, oh, yeah, that works fine. Then there's other more complex drinks, like, say, a mint julep, where you literally have to smash an entire sugar cube or two into the damn thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's... Let's see... I think it was either one of my hunt streams last week or a stream the week before, where I made one of them on stream, and I was like, this is an absolute pain in the ass to make.
You're like, fuck this.
Because, yeah... In the back, you can just hear me mashing something into a glass, pretty much. I'm just like, this isn't working out very well. Because, like, you realize after a while, oh, that's why they have julep strainers. So, oh, that's why this is specifically called a julep strainer, because after you mash all that mint and sugar together, and then shake it all up, you should really strain it just to get it all out properly. If not, you're going to have a lot of... You're gonna have a lot of sugar and bits of mint floating around, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's not as pleasant an experience.
It would be chunky then.
Yeah, and the other specific part of it is you serve it with crushed ice instead of just regular ice. That way, it's diluted a fair bit more. Because if not, you're actually drinking close to straight bourbon.
Oh my goodness!
It is.
Although I don't mind that either.
It's 2.5 shots of straight bourbon, 2 small sugar cubes, and like 12 leaves of mint.
Wow.
And
12 is a hefty number.
Yeah, and you're mashing all this sugar into it, and it's like, oh man, this is taking a while.
Oh my god. I would definitely try it though.
Yeah, like it was pretty sweet, surprisingly sweet actually. When I did try it, it was like, oh, this isn't too bad, this isn't too bad. Actually, yeah, it was on a writing stream, that's what it was. Because usually when I do writing streams, I leave the sound suppression off so people can hear the keyboard. That also means they hear me mixing drinks at the same time.
Oh no, you've turned into a robot.
Yeah. Australian internet for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can hear you now. It's good.
Yeah, it tends to be, have your keyboard ASMR and listen to me mix a drink. That time mixing a drink, though, was smashing in sugar with the back of a paintbrush into some mint leaves. So it's like, Oh
my goodness.
It's like, yes, enjoy the sound of just constant mashing into a glass. And it's like, god damn it.
I love that.
Because yeah, trying out different drinks is always nice, but especially when it comes to stuff you don't necessarily expect to work out well. Like, for instance, anything with ginger ale was originally not something I expected to work out, but hey, here we are.
Here we are!
Anyhow, this next one is pretty much close to the same as the previous question, kinda. Recommend some food. Any food at all.
I really like chicken and dumplings, or alternatively Japanese cream stew. It's probably my favorites.
Wait, Japanese
or
cream
especially
stew.
The Korean bulgogi.
Oh, yeah, that stuff's always good. Normally if I stop by a Korean restaurant, I will normally order that. Because it's just, yeah, decently satisfying, easy to grab.
Attera trying not to say human souls.
Trying not to say, oh Christ. But yeah, bulgogi, yeah, I can say that,
My aunt is actually Korean, so I grew up with a lot of Korean dishes.
Fair enough. I don't know, for myself it was mostly being raised on a mix of, let's say, Vietnamese and random Western stuff. Because, yeah.
Yes!
Because, yeah, if it was my grandmom cooking, then it was all Vietnamese stuff, and if it was my parents cooking, it would be some dodgy amount of either Italian or French for the most part. Yeah. There was a lot more French mixed in.
So good.
And the French stuff meant that there was a lot of butter. Oh god, there was a lot of butter.
Oh yeah, butter and garlic.
Mm-hmm. And oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to steal Ika's recipes.
I don't know. When it comes to me cooking, some of my cooking is fusion cooking, so half Asian stuff, half Western. Like, some of the weirdest stuff that I've cooked is let's see, it's a kind of, okay, so imagine you're trying to make a spaghetti bolognese, for instance, and you want to make the bolognese sauce. And you think, okay, tomato, various herbs and spices, whatever, maybe some onion and garlic, toss that in. Only instead of mincemeat, I cut up some tofu and fry off the tofu. And then I just fry that off. Fry off the tofu first, and then add the tomato sauce and whatnot afterwards. Or add all the tomato paste, extra canned tomatoes, onion, garlic, whatever 5-spice mix that I need, and salt and pepper. Now, the weird part probably comes in the fact that you can actually add soy sauce in there instead of Worcestershire sauce. And that ends up working as a pretty good replacement, at the same time as lowering the amount of salt content you actually do need to add to the dish. On top of that, you add some chili flakes, and you're pretty much good to go. It is a very strange fusion mix of Italian and Asian cooking.
It sounds so good, though. I think one of my favorite Vietnamese dishes, I can't pronounce it though. It's the shrimp fritters that are like shrimp and sweet potato.
Oh.
It's called bun, I think.
Wait, bun what?
Although I'm probably not. Bun tom, like TOM, but there's like accents on it.
Literally just, yeah. Bun tom. I can't pronounce it very well either, but I don't know. My speaking for Vietnamese is garbage. Yeah, that's my favorite one besides pho. Yeah, pho is standard, I guess. Like, I actually put that as maybe my third favorite in terms of Vietnamese food. There's two things
so good.
There's two things that I put above it.
What are those two things?
Let's see. So I think it's traditional Vietnamese pancake, which is bun xeo, and the Vietnamese rice cakes of some kind, essentially. So bun cuong. Along those lines. My Vietnamese pronunciation is hot garbage, though. And yeah, if certain people are listening in, I'm sorry. But yeah, Vietnamese cuisine, I've grown up on a lot of it. It's, in some cases, very, very healthy stuff, but still decently strong in flavor.
Oh yeah, especially anything with sesame, sesame oil. That's always very. Yes. I also like anything like I like agadashi tofu or like sesame ginger tofu. I just love tofu in general.
Yeah, these days...
Still working on eating more veggies, though.
Tofu is actually one of those things I have to mix into a lot of meals these days, because, let's see, half my family is vegetarian, or half my household is vegetarian, per se. So whenever I do have to cook, it is half a meat eater's deal and half a vegetarian deal, essentially.
Yes!
And man, the stuff they come up with for, like, meat replacements for vegetarian stuff is pretty whack at times. Like, oh my.
I believe it. I believe it.
Like, when you get a tofu replacement for, say, fish, it is some of the saltiest stuff I've ever dealt with, and it's just like, oh man.
Oh yeah.
And they wrap it in a bit of, like, seaweed as well. It's like, oh Christ, yeah, this is going to be extremely salty.
Honestly, yeah. Although I heard that dark soy sauce is actually less salty than the lighter soy sauce.
Kind of depends on how you
I've
use
never
it, I
tried that out.
suppose. Because I think normally with dark, you're using it for the seasoning rather than the actual flavor, usually. So you'd add dark soy sauce to say, trying to think of what it's called. It's pretty much just stewed beef, essentially, or stewed pork. Well, stewed sweet and sour pork is normally what you add it to, and the dark soy sauce helps bring out a lot of color and flavor, essentially. And that's normally what we use it for. When you use the light stuff, it just doesn't quite feel the same. For whatever reason, just doesn't come off as quite as palatable, per se.
Doesn't hit the same.
Because, yeah, ideally you're like coloring the meat pretty much, and when you say regular pork, it's like, or regular stewed pork, it's normally quite light. When you do it in the more Vietnamese style, it gets pretty dark instead.
I believe that.
But yeah, Vietnamese food. There are some parts where I'm like, yeah, this is healthy. There are other parts where I'm just like, yeah, no, this is going to.
This is bad.
This is going to kill you. Because yeah, some of
As
that
long as
stuff
it tastes good, totally fine.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, some of the strangest stuff is probably any of the desserts, really, because a lot of them are very. A lot of them are based around coconut, actually, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Coconut is the predominant flavor in most Vietnamese desserts. You'll end up with, say, sticky rice, except it's flavored with coconut. You'll end up with, say, soybeans, but it's flavored with coconut.
I love coconut. So good. I'll have the sticky rice with coconut ice cream and then peanuts on top.
Sounds about right.
So
yeah.
I need it in my life. I'm making myself hungry.
Hey, at this time of night, there's usually, let's see, when you get later into the night in Japanese time, if you search up a certain hashtag, simply called meshitero, then you'll end up finding food terrorism. This is where people deliberately post delicious-looking meals very late at night.
Oh my god! I love that! I love that so much.
It's one of those dodgier hashtags out there, and when you do stumble across it, it's like, why have I done this to myself?
Why have I done this?
Because, yeah, for myself, if I'm up late at night, I'm usually binging something. If that thing that I'm binging happens to be, say, I don't know, Kitchen Nightmares or something, I then realize, oh god damn it, why?
Yes, and then you're hungry and it's 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 in the morning, I'm like, should I watch one more episode and suffer through this, or should I go to sleep so that I can wake up earlier and, you know, actually make some food?
No, fuck that.
Yeah, it usually turns into that option instead. Yes, yeah, if there's one thing COVID has done, it's given people some really whack sleep cycles, and if there's another thing COVID has done,
Oh yeah,
it has made VTubers out of people, and said VTubers have terrible sleep cycles. Holy hell.
it's true. I just thought it was so cool, like, so when I first started going on the internet, it was like right around when like webcams were being made and stuff like that. And I still remember like, so to reenact that feeling, but this time when I turn on my webcam, there's an anime person on the screen. That's being able to experience both of those things in my life is something. It's definitely, it's a unique feeling. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's one thing that if you looked maybe a year or two back, you'd be thinking, oh, that's not gonna happen, is it? Right?
Right. Like if 5 years ago you were to tell me, hey, 5 years from now you're gonna play games online with people that watch you, except you're gonna look like a chick that's from anime. I'd be like, bullshit.
In my case, it was like 1 year ago. Oh, I'm on radio. Oh, I'm on radio. Sweet. Now it's like,
Yes.
now it's a case of, oh god, I hope none of my colleagues from radio are actually listening on me these days.
Right, and like recognize your voice, and they're like, "Hey, it's that person that we I almost said that we streamed with, but that's not the word I'm looking for. That we broadcasted with."
Oh god. Because yeah, when it comes to
Would
radio,
you be embarrassed if that happened?
let's see, I've been embarrassed by IRLs tuning in on my stream before.
Oh my goodness.
Because yeah, there's a certain fella out there, let's see, his Twitch user is just Nerispark. Whenever that guy tunes in, I'm just like, hey mate, good shit, you're here. But at the same time, I was like, hey mate, god damn it, you're here. No, that guy's pretty based. That guy is a bass player, of which is all the way out in the countryside pretty much, and I met him through an audio engineering course, and that guy, let's see, the way he plays with his bass is pretty ridiculous, because since he's out in the countryside, you'd think, oh, you're not going to get that many noise complaints from neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Not quite. What happens if said bass player decides to turn up all the sub bass? He shook the entire house.
No.
Not only did he shake the entire house, he shook the entire paddock next door. So
Oh my
you
God.
have hard bass shaking through a bunch of cows. And the cows
That's insane.
start mooing very loudly. And
Yeah, I bet.
the
They were
neighbors
freaked out.
the neighbors go outside, they're like, what the hell is going on? Hold up, what the? And they just feel the ground shaking, then they realize, oh, it's my neighbor playing with his synth and playing with his bass.
Jesus.
Guy will
That's gotta be pretty alarming.
Guy is, yep, pretty bloody good at what he does, and he's releasing an EP sooner or later, so yeah, because
Hell yeah.
he took about half a year off the course just to see if he could record something or get something together. And I check in with the fellow every now and then just to see how far along he's gotten, and yeah, seems he's got most of the stuff down now, so yeah, good on him, good on him.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, in my case, I took the half year off because I was either looking for a job somewhere or seeing what I could pull off. Because, yeah, I could have continued straight into the next level of audio engineering, but hey, instead, here I am. And
Being anime people on the internet.
Sydney's in lockdown again, so even if I did go into that course, I think it would be the most depressing experience ever, because every bit of education has to be handled from home these days. And, you know,
Oh, yeah,
with
true.
audio engineering, you want to be in the studio. So it's just kind of sad on that front.
Hopefully it clears up a bit better.
Yeah, hopefully by next year things clear up and people can go outside again. That way I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't mind doing another year of audio engineering just to see if I can improve my mixing knowledge.
Right? That'd be nice.
Because yeah,
I actually work for an audio company.
Oh,
I think
damn.
we even have a office in Australia
Damn.
because we do concerts and stuff. So our whole lifeblood depends tours and live events and stuff. So the COVID was just, it hit us hard for sure.
Yeah, the event sphere definitely suffered a lot because my main field before I went into just radio was more in that production kind of events scape, essentially. So I'd be boots on the ground as a producer, talking with various contacts, doing the networking and whatnot, and arranging gigs. I'd be like, oh yeah, I can get you these guys at this time, or I know a guy, essentially. That's pretty much what I was doing, running around.
Okay, yeah.
As COVID hit, I ended up on radio instead, and then once COVID was going for too long, radio wasn't necessarily as viable anymore.
Right.
So yeah, it just
That makes sense.
slowly faded off, sadly. So oh well.
It'll pick back up. It'll be good. I have faith.
The last gig I was supposed to do was with an esports company actually, but second lockdown happened and here we are stuck until mid-October, pretty much.
Oh my god. That'll be here before we know it though.
Well, once that hits, I think my sleep hours are going to get even worse, honestly.
Oh no.
Because the broadcast that I'm meant to look after is meant to be more of a European hours broadcast.
Oh damn.
So they're like, oh yeah, arrive at the studio at like 9 PM and you'll get to go home at like 4 AM in the morning.
Oh no. Some long nights ahead.
Yeah, some long nights ahead once things lift off. But hey, it's not too bad. It's in the industry at least. And it's in a field that I know decently well.
It'll be good.
Anyhow, here's about as good a time as any other to end off for the night, in which case.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, likewise, it was a pleasure having you on, and finally getting to talk to you at length, I suppose, yeah.
Hell yeah. We'll have to hang out sometime, play some hunt. I'll message you, be like, Eco, hunt.
If my ping can handle it, sure, but I do have a strategy for playing on high ping.
Hell yeah. I love that. And then I'll send you some metal songs too.
Sure. Right. Anyhow.
Thank you so much.
Let's see if I can't find someone to raid tonight, because there were 2 people I had in mind. I'm not sure if they're still going right now.
Who'd you have in mind?
Let's see. There was Onikana, and there was also my next interviewee this week. I think my next interviewee this week actually did just wrap up, so yeah, I'll raid Kana. Why not?
Hell yeah, let's go! Who's your next interviewee?
Some Aussie fella named, let's see, Remy Down Under Gaming.
Hell yeah!
I just want to say, guy's been around for a very long time, and I was actually surprised that the guy would take an interview with some completely random VTuber out of the blue.
I love that.
Because yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
That guy I'd watched for almost 5 years, I think, at this point, just on and off, and I was like, oh god. Why the hell are you accepting just a random unsolicited DM and saying, yeah, sure, I'll take the interview? I'm like, what? Buddy. Buddy, I'm tiny. I'm like, let's see, I'm less than 0.25% of your size. What the hell, man? But anyhow, let's see.
He'd probably love it. Just vibe with ya.
I mean, the first thing I sent the guy after he accepted the interview was just a random meme about the current state of Melbourne, but anyhow. Yeah, he proceeded to shoot one back. I think this was the raid command, probably. I normally just raid from the creator dashboard, actually. Invalid username.
/raid and /raid and then Onikana VT.
I got a invalid username. Did she change up her user recently? One sec, I think I will just open up the creator dashboard. That's just easier for me.
Like that.
Okay, I will try that. I
actually just played with her recently.
I caught that stream, actually. That one was a fun one to tune in on.
Hell yeah!
Okay, there we go.
You did
Raid is
it!
working. After much effort. Yes, raid is working now.
I love that.
Alright. Once again, it was a pleasure having you on. I'll take us to an ending screen then. Anyhow.
Okay. Bye bye.